These windmills will be totally exposed to drones, airplanes, submarines, whatever, any way that anyone wants to attack. If we become dependent on them for our energy, it would be easy for someone to knock it out. I'm a little bit surprised that the Coast Guard or the military hasn't become involved in this in a way, because I do think it's important to consider.
In 2019, the Coast Guard conducted a port access route study off the coast of Massachusetts and Rhode Island regarding offshore wind. In multiple comments, I asked for the Coast Guard to investigate and analyze marine radar interference as part of that study. The Coast Guard response was that they were not aware of an authoritative scientific study that confirms or refutes the concern that wind turbines will degrade marine radar, despite a radar interference modeling study that the Coast Guard itself had conducted on Cape Wind in 2009. Notably, Coast Guard staff in charge of the Massachusetts-Rhode Island PARs left the agency prior to the finalization of that study to become the head of marine affairs for a prominent offshore wind company holding multiple leases in the area of analysis.
It doesn't make sense going forward in the future to leave ourselves exposed like that to any kind of foreign attack. I have used the expression sitting ducks, because they really are. They're not mobile, they're not going anywhere, and it would be so easy to knock them out. If we were dependent on that for our source of energy, we would be very vulnerable, very vulnerable. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would want to create that kind of environment. Small solar projects, much easier. I mean, there's no real danger in that. You're not going to knock those people out unless you attack the grid itself, and that's harder to do.
Marine navigation without reliable radar is a life-threatening situation. In 2018, I went to Coast Guard headquarters to discuss this issue with the chief of the Office of Navigation Systems. As I placed several offshore wind radar interference studies on the table, the captain was shocked, completely unaware of the issue. Upon leaving that meeting, when we asked what should our next steps be, Coast Guard personnel responded, "We don't know what to tell you. This is literally the first we've heard of this." That is horrifying.